Hi guys, welcome back. In this video I want to show you how we can change a note within a chord. So for example, in this demo I'm going to show you how to change a major chord into a minor chord. And just like with stretching and compressing, I think this is one of the most difficult things to do in Melodyne, simply because of the complexity of the amount of blobs that are showing and stuff like that. But equally we can do things effectively and we can still change notes, and I'm going to show you how we do that. So the first thing we're going to do is import a file that's got chords in it to change the note in. So I'm opening this demo.
Open dialog.
This demo thing.
Name header bar. Folder view list view. Guitar demo.wav 2 of 8.
Okay, so it's just some guitar chords.
Enter. Untitled.
So we'll let it do its thing. And what Melodyne will do, it will choose the algorithm according to what material you've put in. So we'll just play it. Okay. So we've got the chords there. So let's have a look in the algorithm menu.
Alter, context menu, algorithm menu, U, universal, U.
So if we arrow down here, we should find that one of the polyphonic sustain or the decay is selected.
Percussive, P. Percussive pitched, P. Melodic, M. Polyphonic sustain, P. Polyphonic decay checked, P.
Okay, polyphonic decay is checked. So that's the one that Melodyne wanted to do. This is what we want selected. I don't know the differences, to be honest, between the sustain and the decay one, but as Melodyne has selected this one, that's good enough for me. But if, for example, it was still on melodic, if you'd set it as your favorite or something, it might change it to melodic. Then you can come into the algorithm menu, Alt and A, and just arrow down to one of those polyphonic options and press enter. What we'll do, we'll change it and then we'll change it back.
Polyphonic sustain, P.
So I'll press enter on that.
Enter, leaving menus, untitled star, change algorithm dialog. Changing algorithm requires the detection analysis to be repeated. All editing of the existing analysis will be lost. Redetect button.
Okay, so it comes up with a dialog saying it's going to redetect, and by default you'll be on the redetect button. If you want to cancel it, we don't use the tab, we use the left and right arrow keys. So I'll just right arrow.
Cancel button.
Okay, I press enter, so we won't bother doing that.
Enter, untitled star.
Okay, so we've got our file in. The next thing we want to do is to change the time grid. Okay, so we go to the options.
Auto, context menu, options menu, show note, edit, scale edit, show sound, pitch grid sub, time grid sub menu, T. Active checked, sec, 1/32, 1.
And I'm changing this to a 30-second.
Enter, leaving menus, untitled star.
Simply because we need to draw a cycle range over the area that we want to change, select. So if we want to change a note or something. And this allows you to do a much more accurate cycle range if it's a 30-second. That's the only reason we're doing that at the moment. You can override the grid if you're a mouse user because you can hold down the Alt key and drag and stuff like that. But with the scripts we can't do that. So I set it to a 30 seconds and that allows us for accurate setting of the cycle range. But before we get into that, I just want to say regarding the way that Melodyne processes polyphonic material. So if it's a piano or a guitar or something, it will pick up a lot of the harmonics and things. So if you play, say, a C note, you won't just get one C note. For example, you could get 3 or 4 different C notes. So you get the main body of the C, you might get like a slight harmonic of that C, a decay of that C. So it's not just as simple as arrowing through and finding the note you want to change and changing it, because it will become really confusing. Also, the way that Melodyne displays them, from my understanding, will cause confusion because it's not just a left to right thing. If you go too far up or too far down, you will actually start going on to different chords if you've got like a piece with loads of chords in it and stuff. So this is the best way that I'm going to show you to achieve changing a note within a chord. So just be aware of that. We're doing it this way because of a reason. If anyone else finds another way to do it, great, you can let us know and we can spread the news and stuff like that. We can pass that along. But for this example, we're just going to do it the way that I've found out, which is most effective. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to set a cycle range over the chord we want to do. We want to change a note within that chord. So if I play it again, go back to the beginning.
1. Transport.
There, so it starts just after 1. It hasn't been tempo mapped or anything like that. So we'll just listen to it from bar 1.
Transport.
Okay, it just repeats. We've got a C, A7, D minor 7 and G7. So we're just going to change the first C chord to a C minor chord. Okay, so let's set the cycle range.
Transport cursor moved to current position.
So we're at bar 1 and I'm going to scrub so we just get the beginning of the first chord.
Locked.
Okay, so here we go. We're just going to go until it starts sounding about now-ish. There we are. So I've just gone before that. Okay, just using the arrow keys. I used the alt right arrow to scrub onto it, then just use the left arrow key to move back a little bit. Okay, so unlock.
Unlocked.
And then we press F6.
Done. The cycle range start has been set. Now move to the position you want the range to end and press F7.
So F6 sets the start of the cycle range. So now I'm going to scrub to the end of the section, so the first chord. When the second chord comes in, I'm going to stop and set the cycle range end.
Locked.
There.
Unlocked.
So we'll set it there. So press F7.
Done. The cycle range end has been set. Now press F8 to confirm and draw the range.
Okay, so we've set the start and the end. We'll press F8 to draw it.
Drawing the cycle range. Please wait. Right. Done. Drawn the cycle range and move the cursor to the start of the range on the transport.
Okay, so if we play it now, it should loop. Okay, and it does. So that's what we wanted. So the next step we have to do is select a note within that chord. So we'll just do that.
1.
And you do it the normal way you would do to select any blob, but you will get more, you get more options because there'll be more blobs to find. And just as a note, this is only available in Melodyne Editor and Studio.
Locked.
So lock left mouse button and I'm just going to scrub onto that first chord. It's a bit far away, but we should be getting there now.
Unlocked.
Okay, so I've unlocked it now, and I'm going to press Alt and Enter.
Selecting a blob. Please wait. ... 3 possible blobs found. Which blob do you want to select? Dialog. List 1. List view. Blob 1. 1 of 3.
Okay, so we've got 3 options there. I'm going to select blob 2 because I kind of just think of this as C, E, and G.
Blob 2. 2
So
of
I'm
3.
going to select blob 2.
Enter. Untitled star. Done. Selected a blob at this location and return the cursor back to the transport at your last position.
Okay, if we press Control and Enter now,
Note : E3.
we've selected the correct note. Okay, so we've selected the E3. Like I say, I'm not going to move the arrow keys at this point because then it will get really confusing. All we're interested in at the moment is that we've selected an E3 within the cycle range. So the next thing we need to do is to press F10 and we will select all E3 E notes, not E3, just all of the E notes within that cycle range. So this will include the actual note, the body, whether there's any harmonics or anything. So I'm press F10.
Selected the same note in all octaves between the locators / within the current cycle range.
Okay, so we've selected them, and now I'm going to do a control down arrow to move that E down to an E flat.
D number 3.
Okay, so I've done that, and now if we listen to it, if we go to the beginning
1. Transport cursor moved.
and we play it, okay, we've got a minor chord. I'll just clear that cycle range with F5.
Done. Dismiss the visible cycle range. 0. 1. Transport
And we'll play it as it moves into the next chord. One more time.
Transport
Okay, so that is the process we go through to change a note within a chord.